The true measure of healing is not how calm you are when you're alone. It's not how much you can understand your trauma or explain your attachment style. It's not even how many books you've read or how many breakthroughs you've had. The true measurement of healing is capacity. Capacity to stay, capacity to feel, capacity to hold yourself, to not reorganize your identity the moment something feels uncomfortable. And most people confuse awareness with capacity. So today I'm going to talk about the difference and why capacity is the true measurement of healing. Hi everybody, I am Jackie Faber and I teach people how to recognize the unconscious survival patterns that are reorganizing their entire life, especially the subtle ones that still exist even after years of doing healing work. So the work I do is not about processing. It's not about fixing your inner child or regulating your nervous system better. It's about recognizing the mechanics that exist underneath your behavior so that you can actually shift your orientation from seeking safety outside the self to becoming your own source of safety. If this resonates, make sure you subscribe, because on this channel is where I break down all of those different structures that keep people stuck, even when they are self-aware. Now, this is a really hard truth. People can be incredibly self-aware, but still lack capacity. Like, you can know that your reaction is your abandonment wound. You can know that you're anxiously attached, or that in this moment you're being triggered, and still not have the capacity to stay grounded when somebody pulls away, to not over-explain, to not collapse into self-blame when something doesn't go right, or to not chase reassurance. Awareness lives in your mind, capacity lives in your body. And capacity can be defined as your ability to stay centered in yourself and not reorganize your identity every time something uncomfortable happens. And this is where most people overestimate their healing and their progress, because they have learned all of the language, but they have not increased their capacity. Capacity looks like this. When you feel somebody's tone shift, you don't immediately change yours. When you sense distance and you don't immediately try to close the gap. When you notice discomfort in your body and you don't immediately try to fix it. When you feel the urge to explain yourself and you don't. Capacity is about space. It's about the space between your stimulus and your survival pattern. And it's within that space where healing actually builds. It's not better coping. It's not better understanding. It's more space. If you reorganize your behavior every time you feel uncomfortable, it's not that you're failing. It is just information about your capacity. So most healing work focuses on the emotion you're feeling. And I'm not saying that emotional awareness doesn't matter. It absolutely does. But trying to process your emotion without actually increasing your capacity is just going to make you better at explaining your patterns instead of exiting them. If your nervous system still believes that you need other people to be okay before you can be okay, you will continue to organize yourself around that belief. Capacity grows when you learn how to stay with your own discomfort instead of outsourcing regulation. Without fixing, without managing, without adjusting your identity. This is why some people have years of healing, but still feel like they're looping. They have increased their awareness, but they have not built their capacity. True healing shows up in relationships. It doesn't show up in your journaling or your therapy session or isolation or insight. It shows up when you can tolerate somebody misunderstanding you. When you can tolerate not being reassured immediately. When you can tolerate being seen and not reshaping yourself. That tolerance, that nervous system stability, that is capacity. And capacity is the real measurement of healing. If any of this is landing and maybe you're realizing that you have all of the awareness, but you don't necessarily have the capacity, I have created something very specific for that. It's called the Recognition Manual. This is not a workbook. It is not more healing tools. It simply exposes the mechanics that keeps you subtly self-abandoning, even when you think you're choosing freely. It will help you see where you're still organizing your life around external safety, where your ego has learned all of the language of healing, and where your survival patterns are quietly shaping all of your decision making. Because once you can recognize the structure, capacity naturally begins to increase. I'll link my manual below, and if anything within this video resonated for you, make sure you drop it in the comments. Where do you notice your capacity collapse first? Is it in conflict? Is it in distance? Is it in silence? I read all of the comments, and your reflections help other people see themselves too. If this video helped you, make sure you like and share and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video.